Hello everyone, your favorite night owl here to review his Honest Outfitters camping cookware and mess kit. This is not a paid promotion. Before we get started, like, share, and subscribe, and I would like to apologize for intermediate uploading. I've been working on several larger film projects and they've taken up far more time than I originally assumed they would. The primary project is on Riflery 101. I did a series of videos on the topic, and I'm doing a full-length movie on it. Right now I'm trying to square some things away, and there is a video coming up on news related to the other projects, including the aforementioned movie on Riflery 101. Fantastic! Check out the link below to my Subscribestar account. Just a $2 monthly donation, help a small creator out. As previously stated, like, share, and subscribe. And let's get on with this, shall we? Alrighty then. Short version of this video is quite obvious. It is a 4 out of 5 stars. This particular set has a lot of things going for it. However, it also has a lot of things against it. Although it's still good enough to warrant that 4th star due to some of the features it does come with. Fantastic. Now on to the long version of the review. It comes in a nice compact little box, and inside the box it comes in this bag, which is actually a fairly nice bag, and depending on how you stow this in your gear, you can actually use that bag for other things, which frequently I do. I do not use this specific one I'm reviewing right now, but I do use one of this model. I wanted to use the nicer looking of the two. Alrighty then, because the other one's been used quite a bit. Moving that bag aside, this particular set is fairly nice. Let's go over the individual features that it comes with outside of that bag. This, when you fold up the handles, fits inside of this. You fold up the handles around there, as it does come with these nice little folding handles, which are fairly nice with that nice plastic covering, although there is a bit of an issue. Alrighty then, as they do not latch very well. So, just like that, if your hand slides, you could end up pressing right onto what was probably very hot metal. It has happened in the past, but it ain't that common. Alrighty then. The frying pan has a nice high wall, but it's not very wide, so it doesn't actually hold very much. Not my particular favorite part of this particular set. Moving on to this here, this pot is actually a fairly nice pot. And it can hold easily one soup. Although the frying pan doesn't come with a lid, and if you try to use the lid for the pot, as you can clearly see, it will drop right inside and touch your food. And depending on where that lid's been, you may not want that. This pot easily handles a single person serving of soup. In fact, with both of these, with your whatever primary heating source you're using, for me in particular, when I'm using, well, not this specific set, but its identical counterpart, I use an Esbit stove. I chose a larger Esbit stove because it works better with another set I use more often. Although this set does work well for this as well, and this does work quite well with the smaller Esbit stoves and then with that large one. Moving back to the pot can also carry a larger can. And with both of these, using both of them at the same time, you can easily cook for two. You can cook something in here and something in the pot, basically a primary and a side. Or maybe, depending on whatever you're cooking, maybe a primary and a dessert item. Alrighty then. Moving these aside, just to make a little bit more space, whenever you're putting these up, they do stack in one another, which is very nice. Although it is a bit tall whenever you're trying to store. Oh dear, I tapped that little light. Bring it over here. Comes with a nice little old spatula. Now one thing that is here, well, does come with it, but is not here right now, is that little sponge. As the one for this particular box, over the course of getting ready to film, I kind of dropped it and stepped on it by mistake. My bad. And I don't want to buy another $10 box just for the one sponge. The spatula is fairly nice, albeit a bit small if you want to, say, mix something up inside that larger pot. Just throw that aside. Moving on to this, comes with a spork, which is fairly nice, folds up and compacted. Although, depending on what you're trying to use it for, every now and again my thumb will slide up, or that just might be an issue with me, and it'll do that, and shove my finger down on something rather hot and unfortunate, which I am not a particularly big fan of. It doesn't occur that often, but it does occasionally occur. I guess it's just a part of the fact that it is a folding spoon with not the best latches. Although I guess if you were just to hold up here, it probably wouldn't happen. Although with its construction, if you squeeze too tightly, say if you have beefy hands like me, you could end up doing that. I'm going to have to put this back together now after the video. Moving that aside, it comes with a nice little old ladle, which is fairly nice. As I shoot everything by hand, I have to manipulate everything by hand. Alrighty then. This ladle is nice and works a lot better for the pot than, even if you were trying to use this to mix stuff up, that could be a bit of an issue the way it kind of wants to sit. Although you can do it if you want to. And it's very good, and approximately 2 of these big old scoops of something out of that pot will fill up one of these nice little old 2 bowls it comes with. Throwing that aside. Although, due to the fact that it's plastic, you might want to be careful when it's around direct heat. You do not generally want to stick your mess kits, especially with thinner metal ones, directly onto heat. One thing I do appreciate, especially going back for a bit, is this nice little plastic thing, but it's just so low whenever you go to grab, you're pressing your nails up against a hot pot lid. And if you have pride in your nails like me, well, that's going to be a bit of an issue when you shear off your nails. I've never actually gotten it that hot to do that, but some people really like to heat things up. These 2 little bowls are handy little single servers, although I wouldn't even really consider them that. These are more like appetizer bowls. Though you could probably eat directly out of that frying pan if that's where you're getting your primary and you're cooking your side in that pot. Fantastic. As previously stated, it works well for single servers like this single server of soup. Although, it also works well with other things, such as, if you have particularly, I have even found, say, canned spaghetti and meatballs, which are widely available, and say even canned lasagna, which actually was pretty good. I expected it to taste like a can, but it actually tastes like that lasagna in the store. This is not a paid promotion, so I won't go any further. Alrighty then. With this particular Esprit stove, all of this does work quite well. Although you could use this with other more traditional methods. Although I would be worried about that plastic. Depending on how hot you get things, that lid, you're probably going to end up burning yourself trying to pick this up. Overall, despite the flaws, this is a fairly handy little kit. And that has nice deep sides on the frying pan and on this pot, which doesn't always come with a lot of mess kits. A lot of mess kits I've found, particularly like my other one, don't have exactly the tallest sides, which can make it difficult to cook things like soups. Or if you want to cook a stew and just leave it on heat for a while. This is a fairly nice set, although it is a bit tall to fit in my pack perfectly. That's why I still prefer the other suit. The other particular mess kit that I use more often. Although this is a very good alternative, and if this happened to be the only one available, I would not mind taking this out with me on the go. And I wouldn't feel let down in any way, although with the bowls, I might need to bring extra bowls. It does come with a cleaning kit. Not all mess kits do. Well, it's just a cleaning sponge, not a full kit. And with the silverware and bowls, that is fairly nice. Well, with the bowls being separate of being the pots and pans themselves, a lot of mess kits do come with at least a bowl, though. Although this seems to be better suited to serving 2, just in small portions. And if you eat light like I do whenever I'm on the move, that ain't a half bad thing. Alrighty then, like, share, and subscribe. This does get a 4 out of 5 stars. And I would actually recommend this as a buy if you're interested in a cheap camping mess kit. Thank you for your time. Check out the link below to my Subscribestar account. Just $2 monthly donation help a small creator out. 2 larger film projects are on the way. And see everyone around.